Bezrat Hashem, Parashat Shemini. Let's learn a lesson from the Parashat. Something that the Parashat is teaching us. Parashat Shemini, the 8th day. מה זה 8th day? אז איפה היה 7 ימים? What was 7 days before? What was 7 days before? So basically, the Mishkan, when they built the Mishkan was ready on the 25th of Kislev. 25th of Kislev, the Mishkan היה מוכן. Just the only thing, that you need to put it up. They wanted to put it up 25 of אלול. מחלוק, אבל אלול. יפה. רצו להקים את המשכן, they wanted to put the משכן, השם says, no, stop, don't put the משכן up. למה? הכל מוכן, everything is ready. I want you to wait 2.5 months, and I want you to put the משכן ראש חודש ניסן. למה ניסן? Why ניסן? Because יצחק אבינו נולד בניסן. He was born on ניסן. So I want the זכות of לידת יצחק בחודש ניסן to be with the משכן. And יצחק אבינו, he put himself על המזבח. And in בית המשכן there is a מזבח. So I want to have the זכות. יפה. comes כסלו, מתלונן. למה השם? Why? היה לי זכות, I had the זכות to have in the calendar, it should say, the 25 of Nisan, you put the Mishkan, the sanctuary. Why you take it away from me? Hashem says, no, I'm not taking it away from you. I'm giving you something better. 1,000 years later, the Maccabi are going to come. They're going to have the holiday of Hanukkah. And they're going to make inauguration of the Mizbeach, Chanukhat HaMizbeach. So it's going to be 25 of Kislev. Yafe. Now, 7 days before Rosh Chodesh Nisan, 7 days before Rosh Chodesh Nisan, Hashem is calling Moshe Rabbeinu. He says, Moshe, Nachon, that I took away from you the zchut to be a Kohen? I took it away from you, Nachon? So now, I'm giving you the zchut. For 7 days, you're going to be Kohen Gadol. You're going to be the sacrifice. So every day, during 7 days, Moshe Rabbeinu makim et mishkan in the morning. He puts the mishkan up, the sanctuary up in the morning. He puts it down at night. Up in the morning, the second day, down. Up, down, up, down. Comes our parasha, Vayi bayom hashemini. That's what we start. Our parasha starts on the 8th day. Eze yom zeh, Omer Rashi, Rosh Chodesh Nisan. This is the Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Now, Hashem says, Moshe, Ad Kan, that's it. Now you have to call the real Kohanim. Who is the real Kohanim? Aaron and his son. Vayi bayom hashemini, says the parasha, Kara Moshe leAaron ulbanav ulziknei Israel. So Moshe is calling now Aaron, a Kohen Gadol, and his 4 children, Elazar, Itamar, Nadav, Avihu, ulziknei Israel. Vayomer el Aaron. He tells Aaron, no, start the service. Now it's you. Aaron. So he's giving him in the parasha, he's giving him what to do. The question is, Kara Moshe leAaron ulbanav ulziknei Israel. What for? What for do you need the sages? Zekenim. They're not Kohanim. And Kohanim. There's only 4 Kohanim. So why do we need the Moshe Rabbeinu needed? Why did Moshe Rabbeinu needed to call the Zekenim?
The 5 Kohanim.
Huh? 5 Kohanim. But 4 means 4 plus Aaron. But why the Zekenim? They're not Kohen. No? A Zeken. Tell me. The most biggest Chacham of Israel can do Birkat Kohanim in the morning? No. The most biggest Chacham can go up to the Torah Rishon במקום Kohen? No. יפה, אבל בשמה, why is it? Now is the service. לא, עכשיו הוא קורא להם לסנקצ'ורי, למשכן.
צריך את העם שיעשה ברכת כהנים.
אהרון. אבל מה הזקנים? What's the זקנים all about here? זקנים, בשביל מה צריך זקנים?
אני חושב, בגלל הזקנים, שהם יקבלו את הכבוד, ואז לדורות לשמוע לזקני העם ישראל.
יפה. Something like this, similar. משה מלמד אותנו משהו. משה is teaching us something. What is teaching us? תראו, that's it. I did the service 7 days. I call my brother. But you know something? I don't do things on my own. I always consult the Zekinim. I'm always consulting. You know, there is Zekinim, they have Chokhmah. Always ask a Zaken Always ask an older person. Now, if you're going to listen to him or not, that's something else. But first of all, ask advice. So he wants to show us a lesson. He wants to teach Am Yisrael a lesson. תמיד תשאל עצה זקן. תמיד always ask an older person. It can be your father. It can be your grandfather. It can be a chacham in a synagogue, an old man with experience.
We have a funny saying in Spanish.
No.
Satan is wise, not because they're Jewish.
על החוכמה.
They
כן, על החוכמה.
באיזה גיל עכשיו זקן?
60 and up.
אז אני זקן, כן, מועד.
יפה. Now to listen to this. What happens to this? ויהי ביום השמיני. לא, זקן, לא מדברים על כסיל. מדברים על זקן חכם. הוא לקח את זקני ישראל, חכמים. מה קרה? אהרון קם, נדב ואביהו, אלעזר ואיתמר. אלעזר ואיתמר קם, they bring a ketoret, they die. מה קרה? למה? לא, זה הבנים של אהרון, זה אהרונ's children. Why they die? Says the Midrash, listen to this. There's a lot of reasons, but says the Midrash, you know why they died? They used to say, נדב ואביהו, מתי ימותו הזקנים האלה ואנחנו ניקח את מקומם. When are they going to die already and we're going to take their place? הם היו צדיקים, הם היו the very high level.
אבל למה הם צריכים שימותו? הם היו כהנים.
No, they want to become the Kohen Gadol. They want to become the leader of Israel.
זה אבא שלהם.
You know?
הם הלכו לראות את עבודת הכהנים, שהכהנים האלה ימותו, שהם ידעו הלאה.
לא, הם לא איזה כהנים, אין כהנים, הם הכהנים. הם רצו להנהיג את עם ישראל. They wanted to lead עם ישראל. אז הם אמרו, מתי ימותו הזקנים? Those two old people. משה רבנו is old person. אהרון is old person. מתי ימותו? Let them die and we're going to take the place. אומר השם, אז זאת אומרת שאתם לא שואלים זקנים? You don't give כבוד to זקנים? אז לקח אותם. If you have no respect for the older people, אתה לא מגיע לך, אין לך מקום. You must have respect for the old people. כן? לפני סיבת
אבל הם
הקום.
היו צדיקים.
תשמע זה, listen to this. One time,
כן, אבל...
there was a city in Europe, and they took a young rabbi. The rabbi was 20 years, they took a young rabbi, but that rabbi was 20 years old. אבל אתם יודעים, the פרקי אבות, the ethics of the father say, אין זקן אלא מי שקנה חוכמה. Sometimes you can have a young guy, but if he studies Torah, he's חכם. יפה. This rabbi, whose name is Rav Soloveitchik, he was 20 years old. יפה. Came first Kippur. Kippur came. The middle of davening in the morning, two soldiers come in the door. Where is the rabbi? Where is the rabbi? The rabbi saw them and says, why? Kippur, what do they want from the rabbi? He took his talit, he put on his head, he hid himself in the teva. So no one answered. They left. They came an hour later, again. Where is the rabbi? Where is the rabbi? He again put the talit, he hid himself. They came a third time. And again he hid himself. One of the congregants, he got upset. He says, what is he scared? So he told them, I'm the rabbi. What do you need? So he told them, no, listen. There is a Jew, we're about to kill him. So we asked him, what do you want? The last thing. He asked us to bring a rabbi to make a confession with him. Confession is a כאילו vidui. And he said, this is a holy day, the great pardon, the Kippur, he says. Huh? So we want to bring a rabbi to him. So who's the rabbi? So the guy says, I'm the rabbi. I'm come with you. Now people started. Bekitzur halach, and the prayer continued. Towards the end, Ne'ilah, two new soldiers came, and they says, where is the rabbi? Where is the rabbi? But it was already at the end of the prayer. So the rabbi says, I'm the rabbi. What do you need? Okay. What do you need? He says, listen, you didn't go, nachon? Go where? No, he didn't go with the first two soldiers. He says, no. So, oh, very good. We're happy. Say, why? He says, it was a mistake. This Jew, we thought, we suspected him, but it's not him. So good he didn't go, because if you would have went, would have killed somebody by mistake. It's good he didn't go. They are talking. Who returns? They said that this Jew that they were about to kill is a mistake. So hopefully he didn't go, so he didn't do confession with him, we would have killed. Meanwhile, they're talking, the guy comes back, he says, Rabbi Isai, Baruch Hashem, I did a big mitzvah today. He says, I went to do a confession, and then they put him against the wall, they shot him. Voila. You caused the Jew to die. Lama? It was a mistake. אתה מבין? שאתה היית חכם, you thought you חכם. Look what you did. אתה היית רוצה להיות יותר חכם מהרב. Because that's what's called סייעתא דשמיא. Hashem helps, right? So to tell you, don't be smart, don't override. The חכמים, don't override because you don't know what's going to come out of it. So Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us. אפילו משה רבנו is not doing nothing without the sages of Israel. אז הביא את כל הזקנים. He brought all the zikinim and he told them, listen, Aaron is going to go now to make service. הבנים שלו, his children going to make service. מה אתם אומרים חכמים? יאללה, בכבוד, go ahead. Okay? So they say, the two young, they were 20 years old. They said, no, מתי ימותו הזקנים האלה? Well, let's get rid of them, right? And we do the service. תראה מה קרה להם. They died, right? You must have the zikinim. In Vilna, in the city of Vilna, there was a big Rav. But also there was a big Talmid Chacham called Rabbi Eliyahu Mivilna. Rabbi Eliyahu knew the whole Torah by heart. Agra. But הוא לא היה הרב של העיר. He was not the rabbi. He didn't want, לא רצה, he wanted. One day, a lady was cooking supper. Her son, little son, he tripped. And in his hand, he had a cup of milk. So by tripping, the cup of milk fell straight to the pot of meat. Wow! There's no no supper. She ran, the mother took the pot, she ran to the Gaon Vilna, was next door, and she asked him, Rabbeinu, what am I doing? He looked at the pot, he says, I'm sorry, en shishim, there's no 60 times the quantity of the milk, asur le'echolta, it's not allowed, and you have to do ag'ala to the pot. Her husband comes at night, she gives him bread, לא היה 60. Okay. Her husband comes at night, she gives him bread and margarine. נותנת לו bread and margarine. So he told her, what happened? Why? He didn't have time to prepare supper? He says, no, I made a full supper. But listen what happened. Your son, by mistake, he tripped and he fell. And I went to the Gaon Rabbi Eliyahu and he told me it's not kosher. He told her, why you went to him? We have a rabbi. You should have gone to the big rabbi. Maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about. So the husband says, wait. He took the pot and he went 20 minutes to see the rabbi. He walked to the rabbi, he shows him the pot. The rabbi looks at the book. Kasher. Kasher? But you know, my wife, she went to Rabbi Eliyahu and the Mivilna and he told her it's not kasher. So the rabbi said, listen to me, go back home. On your way home, knock on his door. Tell him in half an hour, you, him, and me are going to eat supper in your house from this pot. We're going to eat from this pot. So he goes back home. דופק על הבית של הגאון מווילנה. Okay? He says, you know, my wife, yeah, I told her it's not kosher. He says, listen, I'm sorry to tell you, but we have a rabbi. And the rabbi said it's kosher, and the rabbi told me to tell you to come to my house to eat supper. הגאון מווילנה was so enough. He says, if the rabbi said, I respect what the rabbi said. I'm not going to go against the rabbi. היה לו כבוד לרבנים. He was עצום, or גאון. I'm going to, when the rabbi said, in half an hour, I'm going to be in your house. Half an hour later, נפגשים all three. הרב של העיר, the big rabbi, גאון מווילנה, this man, his wife, they sit down, and he's telling his wife, נו, תביא את האוכל, bring the food. She goes to the kitchen, she serves it, she comes. As she walk into the living room to bring the thing, the pot spilled on the floor, everything, כל הספר הלך. So the rabbi, the big rabbi says, זה בזכות, he was right. Means he had respect to Gaon Vilna. The Gaon Vilna had respect for the rabbi. He says, if the rabbi said to eat, I think it's not kosher. But if the rabbi said to eat, I eat. But the rabbi had respect for him to tell you, if it's spilled, יש לו זכויות, he has more זכות. So Hashem calls it. זה הכבוד. You see, there was always somebody. So you can be the biggest Rav. יש תמיד, there's another רב. משה רבנו, do we have a bigger רב than משה רבנו? אבל זקני ישראל, there is זקנים. דוד המלך אומר בתהילים, מזקנים את בונן. You know what? I look always לזקנים. מה הזקן אומר? What does the zaqen say? I follow what they say. They say, in Arabic, there's the proverb in Arabic that says, it says, whoever is bigger than you one day, because he was born one day more than you, before you, he knows one thing more than you. מי שנולד יום אחד לפניך, ילחלק. נו, תגיד. ילחלק.
לחלק הר.
לא מרוקאי.
לחבק בנהר.
כן? גם אתה שכחת. אם אתה שכחת, בסדר. So to tell you, זה הלימוד של הפרשה. הלימוד always respect older people than you. And sometimes he's not the biggest chacham, but he's, he's older. I told you the story, but it's good. We repeat it because the subject. I told you the story. One guy, he was a Kohen. He was married to his wife. 14 years, they couldn't have kids. So went to Rabbi. He says, Rabbi, we want divorce and everything. Rabbi says, you sure? Yeah. He says, okay, you're allowed. You're allowed. Gets divorced from his wife. 2 weeks later, she calls him. I have to tell you, I'm pregnant. He's a Kohen. הוא גירש? והוא כהן. You cannot marry her. ועכשיו יש לה baby. He was waiting 14 years. וואו. הלך לרבנים. אמרו לו, אין היתר, אין. There's no possibility. If a Kohen divorces his wife, you cannot take back your wife. No chance. בסוף הלך לרב אלישיב. הרב אלישיב told him, listen. הלכה? Nothing. So, רבנו, what do I do? לך לכותל להתפלל. Go to the כותל and pray. יפה. הולך מסכן every day, הולך לכותל, sits over there, יושב על הרצפה, sits on the floor, and he cries, השם, למה עשית לי? I was waiting 14 years, השם, for 2 weeks I missed it. How can you do this? בוכה. יום אחד, one day, an old man passed by. He says already, it's already the second day I see the guy over here crying. What's the problem? He goes to him, he says, excuse me, can I help you? So the guys get him, go, don't bother me. He says, excuse me, please, I'm older than you. So maybe I can help you. Please tell me what's your problem. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I cannot help you, but maybe I can help you. So he tells him the problem. 14 years, we're waiting for a baby, I divorced my wife. 2 weeks later, she's pregnant, I'm Kohen. They told him, no, there's nothing out of it, but I can give you advice. Halacha, nothing what to do. You're stuck. But I can give you advice. You know what's advice? Go talk to your parents. Talk to your parents. Did you tell your parents? No, I cannot tell my parents. My mother is going to have a heart attack. I cannot tell them. My parents are old. I cannot tell it to my parents. He says, listen to my advice. Go talk to your parents. He was thinking, yes, no. Balayla, at night, he said, you know what? I'm going to go talk to my mother, not to my father. He goes to his mother, he's crying. Makara, my son, Makara. She doesn't know he's divorced. She doesn't know. Yes. She doesn't know he's divorced. Makara, why are you crying, my son? Why? He says, well, Mama, you don't know a problem I have now. He says, Makara. He says, me and my wife, yeah, what happened? He says, we got divorced. Lama, why? He says, I wanted to have children, so I wanted to get married. And now she's telling me 2 weeks later she's pregnant. She's having a baby. I cannot take her back. It's my baby. What? So his mother started crying. He says, oh, Mama, it's okay, but don't cry. He says, no, but I have to tell you something. He says, what? He says, you're not my son.
What?
He says, what? He says, me and your father, we were old. We couldn't have children. So we adopted you. Your father is a Kohen. But you are not a Kohen because we adopted you.
Wow. So you can't go back.
זה לא לו פשוט. So she told them, you have no problem to take your wife. תראה, בגלל שהוא שמע, because he listened to the advice of this man, if he wouldn't listen to him, right? בסדר, ברכות לבטלה, אבל יש לו עכשיו חזר לאשתו, חביבי. Okay? So to tell you always, if you get stuck in a business, you have a situation with your wife, you have a situation with your son, ask advice from older people. Sometimes you might not do what they tell you, but it opens your mind. You look at things differently. So to tell you, Tamid, always ask advice. And Moshe Rabbeinu is telling you, I'm asking advice from Zekenim. You can also ask advice. Don't be Chacham more than the Chachamim. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.